Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Full-Time Whittle Podcast today. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by former Leeds United and current Wigan Athletic star Tom Pearce. So Tom, first and foremost, thanks so much for joining me. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Are you?
I'm great. Thanks again for joining me. So first and foremost, unfortunately, Wigan Athletic were narrowly defeated last night by League One high flyers Lincoln City. Is it really frustrating not to come away with a result after the performance you gave?
Yeah. Well, first off, we performed well and we went in at half time and just said if we do the same things again and build on our own performances, then we'll come away with something. So we took the lead, thought we were in a good place, and then they got a free kick, which I wouldn't say was a free kick, and it's gone in the back of the net. And then from there, I think we kind of just kind of went into the performances where we started maybe panicking a little bit. But that free kick just killed us, really, I'd say.
Yeah, it was a really unfortunate free kick, in my opinion, leading up to the goal because it seemed really soft. And I mean, we can't deny the quality of the execution of the set piece, but when things aren't going your way, do you kind of rely on a little bit of luck going your way in games?
Yeah, but that's what we need. We just need that one moment where we get a bit of luck. When things are going well, then things are going well. But when times are tough, you kind of just need that little luck, maybe to turn the season around.
Absolutely. And Lincoln are a really good side as well. So do you take a lot of positives from the game?
Yeah, a lot. Personal performances on the pitch, team performance. The last few games, last 3 or 4 games, I'd say we've improved a lot defensively and also attacking. And I think if we just keep working and building as a team, building as individuals, then I'm sure the results will start coming soon.
Are you finding that on this pitch, you're starting to form a bit more relationships with your teammates?
Yeah, definitely. As the season goes on, as the training sessions go on, kind of getting to know each other more. Obviously, it's a team kind of thrown together in a way. So we're just kind of learning each other's games and learn how each individual works and stuff like that. So I think, like I said, as the season goes on and we get more close as a group, then hopefully they'll start picking up.
During this really difficult period, both on and off the pitch, how important is it to stay positive and remain confident that you will pick up results in the coming games?
Yeah, very. Confidence is a massive part of football, both on and off the pitch. So the top teams, the top players, they'll have confidence all the time. And when results aren't going your way, it's not hard, but you just got to stay confident and just believe in your own abilities and the team abilities. And yeah, that's it really.
During this season with the younger players and yourself, have you had a bit of a siege mentality in your approach to games where you'll attack it with no fear and just give your all, really?
Yeah, but that's what we've been told. We just go out and play with no fear. Obviously, you want to be winning games. Everyone does. That's not happening at the minute. But kind of just going into games confident in your own ability, no fear. If you give the ball away, just forget it, move on. Just that reaction, really.
Absolutely. And how much of a boost was it last night to have Cal Naismith back involved?
Yeah, well, Nazy's a massive part of the club. Has been for a few years now. He's a great leader. Someone who I look up to, both on and off the pitch. His work rate, his confidence, the way he's around the building with the younger players, including myself. He's a real leader and a good person to look up to.
How important is it to have the more experienced and senior players this season to help guide and coach the young lads through games?
Yeah, well, now I'm one of the more experienced in the team.
Which is mental, really, at the age of 22.
Yeah, it is, but it's part of the job. So obviously, I try and get tips and stuff off the older senior players, I'd say, and I try and give it to the ones who've come into the team. But I also try and make myself learn as well. I need to learn quick. I just keep being that leader on and off the pitch as well.
I think that's a great example to use. And Having initially broke through the academy at Leeds United, you made your debut for the Whites against Sheffield Wednesday in 2018. Have you been able to use your own personal experiences to help advise and encourage the more younger academy players making their debuts?
Yeah, I've spoke to a few kind of over the last year or so. People have asked me how did you adapt. I think you've just got to believe in your own ability. Forget what anyone else thinks, and just play your game. And then as you play your game, your attributes and stuff will start to come through. And then once you start building on them, then the confidence comes with that and stuff like that.
As a younger player, do you often find that you are learning on the job as you gain more and more experience?
Yeah, every game I learn something. Whether that's something to improve, whether that's something I feel like I'm doing well. But even watching clips and stuff like that, learning how, say, other defenders, other fullbacks play their game. Yeah.
Is there any particular fullback you model your game on?
It used to be Leighton Baines when he used to play, but now I'd probably say Andy Robertson, who I like. He likes bombing on and I like bombing on. So if I can kind of watch how he plays, get a few tips of him, then hopefully that'll help me.
What has been the most important lesson that you've learned over the last couple of months?
The lesson I'd learn would probably be just to keep sticking as a team, keep backing each other. Like I said before, times are quite hard at the minute. So it's just staying confident, staying as a team, staying as a group, not splitting off, and just keeping that belief really that things will start to turn our way soon.
Is there a real sense of team spirit and unity amongst the Latics squad?
Yeah, there's a massive team spirit. Everyone gets on great. Everyone, we do stuff well when we can outside of football together. And yeah, we're just a really close knit. It's like a family kind of club, I'd say. And we want to work for each other. We want to work hard for each other, and we want each other to do well.
That's a really great way to look at things. It's always a cliche that's always used in football that your team's like a family, but it's evident that although the results haven't gone the side's way, the effort levels are there, and you all want to play for not only each other but the club as well. And while the league position at the moment is far from flattering, there's been a lot of positives this season. In addition to a number of academy products making a leap to the first team, you've been a standout performer at left back. Wigan Athletic supporters have been really impressed with your pace, your athleticism, your work rate. How do you reflect personally on your start to the 2020 to 21 season?
Personally, I think it's been a good start. I think the Saturday, Tuesday games have helped me a lot. Built up my fitness, and just really gave me the opportunity to go and play and show what I can do. So personally, I think I've had a good start to the season.
I certainly agree. And how good has it been to get a good run of games on your belt? Because I know when you signed for Wigan initially in 2019, I believe you had a fracture in your back, which kept you out a little bit longer and made a bit of a slower start than you might have liked.
Yeah, well, that was a hard few months for me. Obviously, coming to a new club, not knowing I injured, and then you have your medical, and that shows up. It was hard for the first couple of weeks, because obviously everyone's training. You're new to the club. You're stuck in the physio room in the gym. So that was hard to get used to. But then now I'm fit and stuff, and I'm playing week in, week out. I feel a lot better. And just each game really just keep building on my own performances, and keep getting better.
Was it harder to integrate into the Latics squad when you first joined because of your injury?
No, I wouldn't say so. Obviously, I've never experienced going to a new club injured before, so that was something new. But the lads were great. Every single one of them was coming up to me, speaking to me, and I fitted in really, really well.
During this season, you've had the chance to work with the likes of Liam Richardson and Gregory York. How's it been like to work with them?
Yeah, well, obviously I worked with Liam last year, and he's great with me. I love him. We got a really good friendship, really good connection. He's just given me that confidence to go improve myself, and what a player I can be. And then Greg has obviously come up from the academy, and he's done the same. He's given me that platform to just go go and be confident. They're saying they'll back me in everything, and they've been with like that with the whole team. They'll never ever put anyone down. It'll just be good stuff all the time. Obviously, kick up the backside if we ever need it. But no, they've been good.
How much belief does it give the players to have those kind of characters leading the group?
Yeah, massive. I think as a manager, to give you that confidence and that platform is a massive help in any situation, really. I think that helps you individually, helps you as a team, and it also helps the other coaching staff who are around it build that positive attitude around the training ground.
It's really important to have that team spirit and that good atmosphere around the training ground. And in your outstanding performances this season, you've been a great outlet for Wigan Athletic, both offensively and defensively. How much do we enjoy the attacking element of football?
Yeah, I love it. I love getting assists. I love trying to score goals. I love linking up the play up the top. I love putting crosses in the box. But I felt like my defensive side of the game's really come on this season as well, because I know that's something I can work on. But this season I felt like I've done well. I've stopped my crosses. So I felt like I've done well on that side.
How have you improved your defensive elements of your game this season?
I think just kind of positioning wise, and like I said, stopping any crosses coming in the box as much as I can. I'd just say focus more.
Yeah, definitely. And during this season, a big part of your game has definitely been your crossing ability. It's led to so many goals. I know you got an assist last night for Carl Naismith's deflected finish. And from a young age, have you always had the eye for a whipped and cross with pace and precision?
Yeah, ever since I was young, I've always loved that cross, whether it be along the floor or in the air. And when I get into them positions, I literally just want to just fizz it across the box, and hopefully score a goal from it.
Are they something you work on often in training?
Yeah, I always try and focus on my crossing. We do crossing and finishing drills and stuff like that, and I always try and make everyone in the right area.
During your time at Wigan so far, there's been some great crosses of the ball, including yourself, Reece James, Anthony Robinson. Did you learn anything from them in terms of developing your crossing game?
I think we kind of learned from each other. I knew Reece from England. I wasn't at Wigan with Reece, but from England I knew him. Fantastic player, fantastic cross with the ball. And obviously Jedi last year, Anthony. We used to work on it a lot, me and him, setting each other, and then one of us whipping it in, and just giving each other that confidence, really, whenever it was a good ball or a bad ball. Just giving each other confidence to believe in them crosses.
It's been really successful. And if you were to give advice to any younger players, what would be your tips to put in the perfect cross?
It's hard because I don't really have to think about it. I just do it. But I'd just say, don't really try and be too precise with it. Don't try and pick a certain player out. Just try and get it into that good area, and hopefully someone's in there.
Has the Wigan Athletic strikers you played with always been thankful in your deliveries?
Pardon, what did you say?
With the strikers you played with at Wigan Athletic, have they always been quite thankful of deliveries? Do they enjoy your kind of crossing the box? 'Cause I imagine it must be a delight for them to get that kind of service consistently.
Yeah, well, when the crosses are coming in, I think any striker would love that, especially if the good ball's into the box. Maybe they get frustrated if maybe the ball's not perfect, but if they're coming in, then they can't really complain.
Absolutely. And this season, what are your aims and objectives?
Obviously, as a team, to climb up the table as far as we can. Individually, just to keep trying to perform, trying to do my best, and we'll see what happens.
Are you hopeful that the side can stay in the division?
Yeah, 100%. We've got the squad to do it. Like I said before, we just need that luck to maybe fall our way in one or two games. That'll give us the confidence to build on that.
You've had a great career so far in terms of both club and country. And a hidden fact about your career so far that not many people know is that you're represented by former Leeds United and Wigan Athletic left back Kevin Sharp. How much have you learned from Kevin? And has he taught you any tips which only a fellow left back would know?
Yeah, I've learned so much of Kevin. First of all, he's a great guy, someone who I look up to, and we've got a very special connection. And with him being a previous left back, and now me coming through as a left back, I've spoke to him a lot. I've asked him a lot about the game, and he's taught me a lot of things.
He's a great character to learn from. He came on the podcast a few weeks ago, and his stories about his career are great. And it must be nice to have someone who's got that experience in across the country in a wide range of levels to guide you as a mentor.
Yeah, he's the perfect mentor, both on and off the pitch. He's always asking how I'm doing every day, as is Martin Bradley. He's asking how my family is, how stuff like that, how it is on the pitch. And yeah, we've just got that kind of real friendship, which I think's a massive part for an agent. Kind of not all about the football; it's both on and off the pitch.
That's a great answer. And with Kevin Sharp having played for both Leeds United and Wigan, two teams you've played for and are currently playing for, did he initially help convince you to join Wigan Athletic from Leeds United?
I didn't really need much convincing once Wigan came in. Obviously spoke with Kevin, and then I spoke with Wigan, spoke with Kevin together. It was a no-brainer, really. It was the right move at the right time for me in my career to start playing more games and stuff like that. So no, I didn't really need much convincing to join Wigan.
What initially attracted you to join the club?
Massive club. It's been in the Premier League before. At the time, Paul Cook was the manager. Spoke with him. He was unbelievable with me, really. As with all the staff and just the squad they had. Obviously, it showed towards the end of the season. It was a some real good players in there.
It was a really talented side, and was it quite a difficult decision to leave Ellen Road, considering you started your career there? I know you was at Everton beforehand, but you started your senior career at Leeds.
Yeah, it wasn't hard. Obviously, I could have stayed, but at that time, as I said before, it was just the right time to move on. Obviously, I love seeing in the Premier League. I still speak to a lot of the lads there. So no, I don't regret it or anything like that because it's the right move for me.
How would you reflect on your time at Ellen Road?
Yeah, it was good. It was very enjoyable. Obviously, I made my debut at 19, which was a unbelievable feeling in front of 35,000. And then I played the last few games of the season. Got a few man of the matches, and then signed a new 4-year deal that summer and made my England under-21s debut.
You mentioned then playing for the England under-21s, and during your time at Leeds, you often gained international experience with the England youth setup. How do you look back on that experience? Because it must be great to play international football at such a young age.
Yeah, well, when I first got that call up, it was probably one of the best days of my life. Playing for your country, representing England. It was a real privilege.
It was a great achievement for yourself, and during your time at Leeds United, you were playing for some great managers, and the main manager I'd like to ask you about is Marcelo Bielsa. I know he's a bit of an icon in Leeds, and did you work closely with him? And if so, how much did you learn from him?
Yeah, I had a full season under him. He was a great manager. I learned a lot of things off him, both on and off the pitch, and I think that built my character up. Yeah, no, he was a good manager.
How good is he at one-to-one interaction with his players?
It's not so much the one-to-one he's good at. It's the more collective as a team, which he's good at, like drilling how he wants to play. Everything has to be perfect in training. Everything had to be right, really.
He's been recently nominated for the Best FIFA Men's Coach Award last week, and people often describe him in the world-class tier of managers. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd totally agree with that.
He's a top quality manager. And to link back onto yourself now, at the age of just 22, what are you hoping to achieve in football?
I think everyone's dream is to play Premier League. So my dream is to obviously play in the Premier League whenever that may be. So just to keep working hard, keep believing, and see where it takes me.
In your career so far, you play for two great sides in three if you can include Scunthorpe and then Wigan Athletic and Leeds United. Who are the best players you've played with in your career so far?
Tough one. Played with a lot of good players. I'd probably say when I was at Leeds, Pablo Hernandez. He was fantastic in training, in games, just the way he adapted to each game. And then when I came to Wigan, I'd probably say Sammy Morsey. The way he was around the training ground, and just the leader and the mentality he had was something I've never seen before, and that's something I can learn from a lot.
Are you hoping to be a captain of a football club one day?
Yeah, I'd like to be a captain. I wouldn't say I'm a massive shouter on the pitch or anything like that. I kind of just obviously I speak, but I don't go roaring at people or anything like that. I kind of see myself as a just go with it, and then pick up tips on the way and stuff like that. And if someone needs telling, I'll tell them. But I wouldn't start roaring in the face or anything like that. That's just not in that's me really.
As a bit of a fun challenge for yourself, if you could name a five-a-side team of the players you've played with so far, who would be in it?
Tough one. Goalkeeper, I'd have Bailey Peacock Farrell. As a defender, I would have Cedric Keepery. As two centre mids, I'd have Calvin Phillips and Reece James in centre mid.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then up front, I would have. I think I go Joe Gelhardt.
That's a really interesting choice. Were you quite friendly with Joffy during his time at the club? Because he's
yeah, I was really close with him. And then obviously when Leeds were interested, he spoke with me for quite a bit, and I told him about the club and stuff. So I was really close with Joffy.
It's a great five-side team, and I'm surprised, to be honest, because I thought with midfield you picked Calvin Phillips and Sammy Morsey, because I think them two in midfield will be two destroyers, and it'd be a tough game for any opposition. But moving on.
Reece has just got that bit of flair, which I think would help.
Yeah, he's doing amazing at the moment, Reece James, for Chelsea and England. And it must have been a proud moment for you to see him make the step up to the senior first-team squad at both clubs.
Yeah, it was. I was made up for him. He's worked hard for it, so he deserved it.
Moving away from the football field now, you've actually represented Wigan Athletic virtually, recording victories on FIFA 21 and FIFA 20 against FC Tulsa and Erhan Oztuma, who was at Charlton, but he now plays for Bristol Rovers. Are you a big gamer in your spare time?
Yeah, well, I'm actually unbeaten on the Wigan Esports, so that's something I'm quite proud of. But yeah, I play a lot of FIFA when it first came out, and then I'm back on the Warzone now, and I'm loving it.
It's quite interesting that you play FIFA as a footballer. Do you sometimes want to avoid playing FIFA because obviously you're involved in football every day, or is your passion for football where it doesn't bother you?
No, because it's not. It's a game on you play with your mates, and it's fun, and just something I do in my spare time really. So when I'm playing that, I don't think about real life football. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Did you often play your teammates at FIFA and other games?
Yeah, I played them a lot, especially Joe Williams. We won't go into that because he won't be happy if I start the details. But no, I played Joe a lot. I still play him now on it.
Who was the best gamer along from yourself?
Jedi. Jedi's good. Play with Jedi on Warzone a lot. And no, he was good. He was really good.
What's your preferred console? Are you an Xbox guy or a PS4 guy?
PS4 guy.
And you're hoping to get the new console soon?
Yeah, I've been trying to get it for the last couple of months, but just every time I go on, I just can't seem to get my hands on it.
What would be your go-to game then? I know you like your Warzone, you like your FIFAs, but what would be your all-time favorite game?
My all-time favorite game, I'd probably say I'm gonna go with Warzone or Fortnite. When Fortnite first came out, I used to play that a lot. I used to play with Nathan Byrne and Jamie Jones. And yeah, I'd probably say Fortnite is my most played ever game.
Jimmy Jones is an interesting teammate. I wonder what he's like on Fortnite. I didn't actually picture him as a gamer.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's really good. If he's got all the PC monitors and a proper gaming setup.
All right, so he's quite a devoted gamer. Then I wouldn't have expected that. I'd picture him as one unlikely to play games, to be honest. And it's been great to hear about that side of things because it's nice to see that you've still got your interest away from football. And now to link back to football itself, how are you previewing Saturday's upcoming game against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light?
Yeah, looking forward to it. If we just keep building on their performances, which we've had over the last 3 or 4 games, that real desire, then hopefully we'll be able to get a result.
Sunderland have got a really talented side. There's a few ex-Wigan players there, Max Power, Will Grigg. How tough of an opposition is that at this level?
Yeah, they've got a very, very good squad who are near the top of the table. But I think if we just go, like I said, with the desire, with the confidence, with the team ethic, then yeah, it'll be a really good game and a really good test.
What would be your message to end the podcast now to Wigan Athletic supporters, and how much are you looking forward to see them back at the DW Stadium sometime soon?
Yeah, I just want to thank them for the support they keep giving us week in, week out, whether it's on the iFollow or whatever. And yeah, I'm looking forward to having the backing again in the DW, hopefully soon. I think that'll give us a real boost.
It'd be absolutely brilliant when fans are allowed to return to the game. You all get a great reception. Tom, I'd like to thank you so much for giving up some of your time today to come on the podcast. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah. No, it's been great speaking to you, and I appreciate you getting me on.